Hi, my friends and family, and welcome back to the show. I'm Trey, and this is my show, Trey's Timeless Now, on Trey's Myths and Tunes channel. Today, I want to talk to you about something that is one of the central core keys of all my teachings, of the reason why I'm here. And that is how Lucifer's clock time hijacked now and what you can do about it. Just in the time when I was sure I had it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. All these children that you spit on are immune to your consultations, 'cause they're quite aware that they're going through changes to turn and face the strain of changing. Pretty soon this flesh suit has to get older. Changes to turn and face the strain of changing. 'Cause time may change me, but there's no such thing as time when I'm free. I said that time may change me, but it's always now when I'm free. How Lucifer's clock time hijacked now and what you can do about it. Did you ever wait in line behind somebody in the grocery store and they wanted to punch you out because they thought you were too stoned or moving too slow? Have you ever felt like that yourself? I think every one of us who's worked an hourly wage job has. I think every one of us who's had an appointment to go to has experienced this, what I call stress-TIZZY, and this is the imposition of false time into the now structure of reality which we were born into. How was it hijacked? I say, although the beginning of the planet of the slaves began a very long time before chattel slavery obviously began, it was the technological invention of the mechanical Gregorian clock, which of course, began to place sections of the beautiful planetary sphere, Mother Earth, Gaia, like cities, towns, states, and entire countries and even continents under lockdown eventually, from my perspective. Because when you go to the big city, how many people can relax? How many people don't have to worry about being in a contest and being stepped on or losing their position to someone else? Because that energy is the matrix, the energy of the matrix, which feeds, of course, the archons and all the interdimensional parasite predator entities. That feeling, if you're an empath, that you feel is the fake. That is the quality of this inverted, sick, dog-eat-dog clock time reality of slavery. That's how it feels to your emotional body. That's why you want to come back to the country or go to the beach. So the rise of the Babylon clock, of course, that was the event of the real. That was what with the event of the rise of what I call contracted reality. Like most people that are obedient to the Babylon beast, they don't believe that someone like me is real if I'm not in the contract, okay? And the 12-hour clocks became the glue of the matrix, okay? Think about it. This is why as many of you who have the courage as possible to be able to take care of your needs, even if it means moving into a van, a boat, becoming an artisan, working on the positive side of contract as being a contract, kind of the opposite, really, being a contract employer. Then you're not on the slave clock. So, clocks became the glue of the Matrix for hundreds of years before Humans 2.0 was even conceived of, okay? Of course, this quickly led to the robber barons, again, with a lot of help from their dark junior landlord overlord gods like Enki or Lucifer, or the dark entities, in other words. They designed rent. They designed mortgages. They designed inflation and later the U.S. national debt. And it was a mechanism to maintain control and to really overtly get there easily when you sign your name on the contract and you've got to pay for that box and you've got to pay that mortgage and that property tax and you've got to pay the rent. You, unless you're a master meditator, unless you're 100% or 96% awake, it makes it easy for them to make you act like you're in a stress tizzy all day, especially if you live in Santa Cruz, California. The whole thing is the biggest mind control of all. Okay, look at how many people are underneath this tizzy. I call it stress tizzy of the clock system is what I call it. There is a reason why all of these must all stay and remain out of control, no rent control, and take up your entire whole life. Because, again, the predatorial, dark manipulators who think they run this world and they think they control your mind, they don't want you to watch this channel. They don't want you to face this. They don't want you to do the shadow work. They don't want you to look at yourself in the mirror energetically. They don't want you to look at the quality of emanation that you emit from being stressed out all the time. Okay? This is how the evil matrix lords control you overtly. They contract out your life, okay? Then they get you to sign to agree to work 3 jobs a week, for example, if you live in this county, for a box to sleep in with a fridge, to have a hot shower, a bath, and a safe place to keep your belongings so they don't get robbed, because there's a lot of thieves here. In other words, most humans who are responsible, okay, have been duped into being boxed in and controlled by their basic needs. Again, just like sexual misery programming, just like what they did to every level of psychology in the human sphere they could. What I say they did on the coast of California, for example, is the pirate mafia, the Khazarian mafia, and the conquistadores before them back then. They take away what you would get for free. Again, my one video that YouTube kicked me off for and deleted. The modern form was the tech big boys disruption systems. Then they create a paywall and make you pay for things that would otherwise be free, such as sleeping. Okay, we had a chief of police during the lockdown, Andy Mills, who refused to obey this give people a ticket for sleeping thing, and I commended him for that, because the idea for being responsible has become being totally controlled by your basic needs. Since nearly all of us have fears, I mean, very few don't have fears, they can easily be manipulated, and we can write ourselves off into being children doing time out in the corner of our rented cages that we spend all of the hours of our lives to be safe from the vampires stealing our children and drinking them as adrenochrome, for example, our worst fear. We think if we lock them in the cage with us, it'll keep it all safe. And when this happens, our souls begin to atrophy or shrink. They can shrink, and fear can make us, our own souls and essences, lost or hidden to our own selves. We become hidden to our own selves through survival, because the devil is psychically whipping all of our ass, saying, you have to move into the box. Because the people are chanting around Mecca, because there is literally a hexagram or a hologramic cube on the end of the planet Saturn, and the core of Saturn, beaming frequencies into the moon, beaming frequencies into the massive selenite pylon grids in the center of the earth that are programmed to make you think the point of life is to pay for that box, okay? So this is what happens. This is why most people who, or at least those who are dumb enough, don't think that they're creative. Because this is what is the result of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years of this, which is accumulated to a place like Santa Cruz where people work 3 jobs for a box. So our souls become hidden, and we have to do soul retrieval, shamanism, or recapitulation. We have to learn to reframe. We have to go back and go and do deep psychological healing to figure out what we were even born into this life for, if it wasn't to be a slave for our existence, which is not natural to this planet, a free will planet. Through survival, we become trauma bonded to the death memory wipe system. In other words, most people that aren't aware of what's happening, they're trauma bonded to the Saturn Moon Matrix memory wipe system. You think, oh, well, I gotta get along. I better just spend my whole life to get a box, because that's what they taught. Okay, unless they got a lot of courage, or they, in my case, have to go through a near death. So that system, it says, keep quiet, do as you're told, take my orders. Come into my arms, the death system says. The death system tells you constantly, come into my arms where you are safe in your slavery-based comfy couch and a TV in the corner of a safe legal box where no one can get you and you can never live. You'll be completely safe with me in this television room in the box on the comfy couch. You are safe to die and stay a low-life battery for the Hellites forever. When you think about it, the moment a region, such as this region, state, country, or continent even, accepts the clock, the property value, the violent-based kingship conquistador, kill off the natives and take their property and then make everyone pay lots of fees if you want to visit or live there, okay? The moment you accept this reality, property value, mortgages, and rent, the demon I call the stress-tizzy moves right on into your character, unless you're a master meditator, unless you're a master of awareness. It moves into your character. Then you're going to blame me. Then you're going to blame anyone who wants to bring awareness. You made me wait 10 seconds! How dare you! Okay? This is not the real version of reality. This is the slavery-based version of reality imposed by our dark junior god overlords. How dare you make me wait 10 minutes, 10 seconds, or even 3 seconds? Is the clock itself an invention the devil created to manipulate us and create a slave planet? Let me know what you think about that in the comments. So wage and property tax slavery make people strangers. It's been said that there's neighborhoods like where the Rothschilds live in England, where one mansion to the next, people don't know each other at all, or what goes on there, and that's how they like it. Wage and property tax slavery make people strangers even to themselves. Thus, an expensive or dark side controlled region, the average Joanne of all stripes and economic groups inadvertently develops a mantra when they go out in public to go shop or do business or make a deal, saying, I gotta go. Go to LA, go to New York City, go to Santa Cruz on rush hour. Even after the lockdown, you hear this all the time. I gotta go. Especially if you're a philosopher and you want to bring them out of that headspace to the timeless space of now, because my personality is geared toward the now. If you are a timeless being attempting to explain any of this to them, and extra particularly, of course, if they are blue-pilled or they don't want to believe it, don't bother explaining. Let them stay stressed out. Stand out of their way. If you live in Santa Cruz, don't let the curse bite you in the ass. Stand out of their way for 10, 15, or 5 seconds and let them move past. Then they won't project that stress-tizzy demon onto you. Okay? So as I've said, the only 100% real moment is now, as all spiritualists know. They've said enlightened beings are called Baba because they become very childlike, pure, only stuck in the now. Okay, I got a part 2 coming up, and if you enjoyed this, follow me for more. Click on the notification bell.